Hi. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with the whole fancy intro BS right now. Now, normally I tend to save these kind of topics for something like BC Talks, but honestly, this is something that, since it was directed towards me, this is how I'm gonna respond to it. The only real way I know how. Like, now, normally, like, a lot of videos are threatened to be demonetized for certain things that are said that aren't exactly, YouTube friendly. Well, you know what? I don't really make money on here. I just do this as a hobby. And I am normally pretty good about watching my mouth. But tonight, fuck that. YouTube, you can have whatever amount of monetization that you are going to take from me. You can have it this time. So, let me explain something to you real quick. There is something between us as collectors that tends to twist the minds of other people, which is a really bad analogy, but bear in mind that on my end it's 12:45 a.m. I should be getting to sleep, but this has me fired up. So I'm going to talk about it instead of, going to beat the crap out of somebody, because I can more than do that. So with that said, we are going to talk about the fact that people tend to get collectors and hoarders confused. Let me clarify. Collectors and hoarders are two very different lifestyles. Collectors, me, collect certain items as well as certain forms of memorabilia as a means of a hobby or as a means of reselling for future gain or for just the sake of having something cool to put on a shelf. That's why toy lines like the SH Figure Arts line exists, why the Transformers lines exist, why 3P exists, why all these multiple different things, why it all exists. And sorry, TFA 1024 was just shooting me a message on there and it distracted me a little bit, but the fact of the matter is, collectors literally are what the namesake is. They're collectors. They buy to display. They buy to resell. They buy to have something pretty to put on a shelf. And they come in all forms, for lack of a better term. You know what? No. To kind of use code words, collectors come in all colors. And I don't mean that as a race thing. I do not mean that as a race thing. I mean that as there are some people that solely collect Marvel. Some people who solely collect DC. Me, I'm a mixture of Pop, Transformers, Power Rangers, Kamen Rider. I'm a mix of all of it. But there are some who are strictly Kamen Rider, some that are strictly Power Rangers, some that are strictly Super Sentai, some that are strictly Pop Vinyl. And I mean, if I showed you my Pop Vinyl collection right now, it's minuscule compared to my Transformers collection. My Transformers collection is honestly what takes up the most room. But that's not the reason why I'm explaining this, or kind of getting into this topic right now. My reasoning for getting into this topic is the difference between a collector and a hoarder. A hoarder is somebody who, once again, their namesake, they hoard multiple forms of items, whether they be random knickknacks or just things they buy in a thrift store, and they hoard it. They hold on it. They hold on to it for no valuable gain. They hold on to it and they let it pile up. And basically, what people like, if you guys are familiar with the show Hoarders, take the show Hoarders, like the stuff you see in Hoarders tend to have a lot of people confused with collectors. Cause I mean, look at all that. Look at all that. That took me all day to get fully set up and fully displayed. So, why am I making this video when I just spent like a couple seconds showing off my collection? Because that's a collection. There's a difference. If this and this is considered hoarding, all of that will be right there. Right there. All over my floor. All over my floor, missing pieces, missing parts, just laying there for no possible gain. So, in conclusion, I'm going to effectively state this. A collector buys to display, buys to resell, buys to have something pretty to put on a shelf. Hoarders buy to pile up. There is a very clear-cut difference. Collectors are far more organized. Collectors are far more meticulous about what they buy, why they're buying it, and how it's going to affect their wallet. Hoarders don't give a shit about how it affects their fucking wallet. So explain to me how me having all of that makes me a fucking hoarder. Explain this to me. Really explain it. Because, I mean, honestly, I'm just sitting here, like, wondering what the fuck. Like, clearly enough, you're not praising my Jesus, because I don't know what the fuck you're sitting here confusing me with a goddamn hoarder. What the fuck you keep, like, just honestly, like, if they wouldn't have grouped me in that whole area of, if they wouldn't have grouped me with that category of people, I wouldn't give a shit. I would not have given a shit about anything they had to say. But the very moment they called me a hoarder, that's when this happened. That's when I turned on the camera. Because I was not about to sit here and just start clobbering somebody just because they pissed me off. Which, let's face it, people, BC does have a bit of a private life where a lot of things tend to happen to him behind the scenes, which is why a lot of videos don't ever get made. So, bearing that in mind, I'm just... It's bullshit. It's bullshit that we collectors get confused with hoarders, because I'm not the only case of this. This happens to a lot of us. Like, there are literally, I can think of like a couple cases where a couple of collectors' wives or girlfriends call them hoarders. Just like, you know, yeah, in some cases they say that because they're so angry that they're in a heated argument and it happens to slip. Sure, okay, that's fine. Because, you know, at least at that point, they're just saying things to be mean, but they don't really mean it. But when you call somebody a hoarder, you're literally saying that they are a messy person. Which, clearly enough, as you saw, other than like my jacket and other blankets over here that I need to get sorted out because I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to put all that. You know, my laundry is in my laundry basket. My other jackets are hung up. My towel is hung up. My special occasion jacket's hung up. My sweater is hung up right there. All of my clothes is in my closet. Like the boxes, the other things that I tend to keep the boxes to, is all up in the closet. It's not all over my floor taking up a shit ton of room. That is not all over the floor taking up a shit ton of room. I'm gonna keep fucking doing that so that it becomes clear there's a fucking difference. So, explain to me, like, if you really don't think that there is a difference, get your shit checked. Cause like, bear in mind, I'm one of those people where I get angry, I blow off steam, and then I get over it. But not a lot of people are like me. There are plenty of people where if you are willing to go there, they don't give a shit if they are a collector like me, or if they have somebody who is a hoarder in their family. Fact of the matter is, if they hear you talking shit like that, they will fuck you up. I just... I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm just gonna allow you guys to shoot yourself, to, just shoot in the comment section down below, discuss. But this is one of those discussions, but I'm gonna pull a Bobby Skullface here and say I'm not responding to any of the comments. I'm just gonna let you guys have your fun in the comment section. If any of y'all disagree with me, feel free to voice it. If any of you agree with me and think my anger is justified here, feel free to voice your opinion. Like, I don't care anymore. If you want to keep it clean, feel free, keep it clean. You want to get as angry and you want to curse all you want, go right ahead. I give no fucks. Go right ahead. I don't care. So with that said, to finally answer a question for one of my regular viewers who has been adamantly asking me when, if I'm going to be doing this, my next review is actually going to be Power of the Primes Rodimus. So, with that said, I've taken up enough of you guys' time, BC Rants. Yep, another entrance into this whole series of videos I tend to do. Yeah, BC Rants is coming to a close.